Hey, that.
Yeah.
Turn this shit
Nigga
up.
chunky, look like money, smell like cookies and cologne. I done grown up, got my dog, came a long way on my own. I ain't had no hand down. I ain't need it, I ain't asking, now that shit is man down. You could get it, that's a casket, I don't pay the gram. I get paid for grams, you a worker, bring that paper in. Be the paper man, keep a burner, this the cream of the crop. I got green, I got drops.
Well, if the one
You forgot to turn it off.
I know I was about to, because I'm sitting here trying to text and DJ and do all that stuff at the same damn time, y'all.
Oh my
Welcome back, babies. It is 2 cents late. Somebody DM'd me too one time. I was like, you always be like, hey baby, your voice is so sensual. Is my voice sensual? That's weird. That's weird.
Maybe it sounds like that through.
Hey baby, WBLS. Welcome to 2 cents later. I am Brittany.
And I'm Zuleyma.
And we are so excited. Well, I don't know if we're excited. Hey. No. Hey,
Oh my God, I just need to rip this damn Band-Aid off. Like,
yeah, y'all. We had, sometimes it be rough for us. But, we had a whole podcast recorded like 2 hours, y'all.
it was 2 hours.
2 hours long. We had my homeboy Terrence calling. He's from London, so I don't know if we're gonna get him to call back in. We also had my friend. We also had Prince, who does our music for our podcast. He called in. Just don't mind a little bit of noises in the back.
We also have somebody in the back.
We also have our
friend here,
our guest here, but don't mind that. But yeah, it was good, but shit happens. Let
me. I think maybe it'll help me with this whole process. We were filming and I accidentally kicked the extension cord, and it shut the whole shit down. Like, shut the whole shit down. And I think I was having a hard time I am having a hard
She's
time
still
processing
going through it,
that.
y'all.
It's
I smoked
like
2 blunts and I was fine.
I'm like, no, it has to be somewhere in one of those little. It has to be somewhere like there's no way that it can be retrieved. But it's gone, guys. It's gone.
Gone.
And so I had to
Baby girl, it's gone.
I just had to get myself together.
I was upset at first, but I think that at this place, it's okay, baby.
Bye.
I'm just at a place in my life. Do it silent.
We were telling our friend here to close the door silently, but he didn't.
Quiet, because that door is about 9,000 pounds. But I'm just at a place it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah, and I was having trouble. And I'm also, to be fully transparent, I'm like, it's that time of the month for me, so everything is heightened.
And her shit be lasting
and
for
so
years, yo.
what would normally, I would probably handle it like you, like we just got to do it over.
Mm-hmm.
Today it's like,
it took,
fuck.
even still, we kind of had a little bit more of a pushback start because you wasn't really feeling too hot in the first place.
yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
I'm just
So
like, girl, I'm
it's
tired.
just kind of like, but shit happens. And I'm just becoming into the what the fuck you gonna do? You gonna cry? Not saying you, but me personally.
but I really did cry.
It's just me
so
because I'm
frustrated.
very much so okay, I'm going to go into full blown freaking out mode. And we've had fucking, mishaps before happen with recording a podcast. So I don't want.
It was just so good.
It's always like that though.
So well, and it came from a place of and everybody who was talking, you and Prince and parents, it just came from a real genuine place.
We still gonna get it going, baby. But
yeah.
Oh, I just think.
And I just
shit
every time I just keep cutting you off because I don't want them to think that we have this whole script. So we're really going off the top of our head and trying to bring ourselves back into that space again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was having trouble with. Okay. So
yeah, no. So she's just she's just processing.
I am.
It's just kind of
and I need to talk about it out
yeah,
loud,
she's like I said to her, we either gonna do it or we gonna figure something else out, because at the end of the day, whenever we have really, really good episodes, our best episodes always get fucked up. All the time. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating. But I'm just at a space in this that shit, we got this good ass machine. We're going to use it. We're going to do what we need to do. And we could still get our homies to call in and do what they want, say what they need to say. But with that being said, I just want to start off, I'm not going to go into everything that I really wanted to talk about we did the first time, because I still got to call people. But with that being said, let's start off with that to just get it out the way then. Our Kevin Samuels episode ruffled a lot of the men's feathers. They were not really
and it
feeling
made my
any.
armpit sweat.
they're not
Legitimately makes my armpit sweat.
feeling him as like like they don't want any Kevin Samuel slander. So
It's like their fucking hero and Lord and Savior. Like that's God in their world.
and I feel that there are some men that do take it to the extreme with their like standing for him, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Because remember last episode I was talking about the post, which stemmed all these people going crazy. I was talking about the post, and every single person who commented on that post was a male, and they were making they're like, oh, see that you're like a part of the problem. Like you're exactly the woman that like he's speaking of. And I'm just like, first of all, this is fucking humorous to me. Like relax. I didn't know I was offending your dad, but like chill the fuck out. But they were really, really like defending him like to the freaking core.
Yeah, no, they were going hard for him. I'm not gonna lie. And it was funny because I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say that a lot of them were going hard. I will say that they were just like, nah, we not canceling him. Like he needs to be
yeah.
You know, but I do believe that like what do I want to say? I'm gonna call Prince now so that way we could just get his perspective and we could just get his feel for it. You know what I mean? And what they actually mean and why they feel the way that they feel. Hold on, y'all. We be having all the difficulties in the world, child. Let me see if he answers.
It's like, hello, Ken. Welcome back.
Hello?
Hey.
What's good, y'all? We have Prince on the line again. Welcome back, baby.
Yeah, take two hands.
With my life.
What happens?
Welcome back, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is Prince P, Blue Strip, whatever. He goes by a whole lot, but what you say you are? Tell him what you are, P.
Untouchable, baby.
Untouchable, yo. So,
there you go.
We just wanted, before you had to go do what you had to do, I wanted to grab you because that time was a little bit too late for me. And we did really value your 2 cents when you called in earlier. But shit happens with, as a musician, shit happens, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, of course. Of course.
But we're going to run this shit back. But we were talking about how last week we did the whole Kevin Samuels post and should he be canceled or should we protect that national gem of y'all? You know what I mean?
Still laughing.
And I just wanted to know, like, what about what he is saying do you feel women are misconstruing or feeling or like taking out of context?
I think that women think he's a women hater or something. You know what I mean? Like he's anti women. I don't think that's what he is at all. I think that he's just putting a mirror in front of women and letting them see their reflection. You know what I mean? Or certain women, I should say, not all women. You know what I mean?
And that's what sorry to cut, but my biggest thing I always say, like, yo, if the shoe don't fit, why the fuck are you putting the shit on? Like, you get what I'm saying? So you shouldn't be. I've never personally felt anything attacked about what he's saying because that shit don't apply to me. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm not bothered by it. But go ahead.
Right.
I just want to know what he feels because I can't really hear him that well. What he feels like resonates. You
can hear me, or you
can't
hear me that way.
She can hear. She don't got headphones. I told you.
Yeah. What he feels, which I guess is kind of like the same thing. What he feels like resonates with him the most. That like makes him feel like, oh, okay, he got a point. Like what exactly is it?
I think that the biggest point for me is that we live in a generation now. We're in a generation where just morals and just things that you stand on and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable is a blurred line now. You know what I mean? Like even for men, same thing. Men wearing skirts, women acting like men. It's just everything is discombobulated. I think
everything's a free for all right now. Everything's a go.
Right,
like everything's a go right now. And that
who is who? Like you can't really decipher who's who right now.
Like I was saying, I just feel like it's very hard for just people in general to just tell you like what are their core values as a person, you know? And if you were to really ask a lot of people that, it would just really be, crickets. Like people don't know who they are today because they're just solely going off of what they're being fed from social media.
Yeah. I was talking to an older head of mine, and he was saying how like my older brother, he was just telling me how everybody he feels like everybody is just so caught up in the imagery of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't want to buy a Benz because the Benz is the nicest car to drive, like, or because of whatever the details are about the Benz. They want to drive a Benz because the status that gives you when you were seen in that car. You know what I'm saying?
What it means to what it looks like when you have a Benz. To everyone else.
Everything is for a look nowadays.
The perception it comes off of somebody who owns a Benz instead of like, you know, I get it.
I do feel like a lot of men like Kevin Samuels because he is saying everything that every other man is scared to say out loud. And he's like their voice of like,
damn, finally, especially in a time where you have to be.
It's just me and Kev.
especially
Kev holding it down for us,
especially on a time where like everybody's walking on eggshells with a lot of shit. It's just kind of like, yo, like how do you really voice your opinion, and having somebody out there that is saying the thing that a lot of these men are thinking, they love that shit. But I do find that via watching a lot of these shows and a lot of my like homeboys, men are more traditional in their like dating than women are today. I feel like women today want to wear the pants as well and want to like lean into the masculinity a lot more.
They want to play both positions. They want to be the man and the woman.
Yeah, and where I feel as if you're losing the essence of what it really means, what the real power in femininity is. And it's like as if you're looking at being feminine or being soft or actually leaning into your womanhood is a sense of weakness when it's not, you know?
Right.
Real ass bitch, give a fuck about a nigga, big burger bag work. You know what I'm saying? That's how they come in.
I also think that women have like, they don't really know, and correct me, I don't really know, but I think they think femininity has to do with what you look like physically.
Right, and that's not
whether
all
it's
about
like
that.
how you carry yourself, how you speak, like all of that plays into it.
What do you find offensive? What do you find offensive about Kevin Samuels? Like, what is it that bothers you about him?
What is it that bothers you about Kevin Samuels?
Oh, his delivery. I don't retain his. I understand what he's saying, right? I understand what he's saying, and I'm not saying that all his points are invalid. He says a lot of things that make sense, and I understand why men like what he says. Because again, he's saying a lot of things that a lot of men don't want to say because they don't feel safe to say around their women. I personally
don't think that there's anybody that... I don't think that
when you say you don't like his delivery, you're saying like he's disrespectful, you're saying?
I feel like he has an aggressive approach.
But I personally don't feel like there's an actual approach where majority of women are actually going to take this message from anyway. I've heard it said in nice forms. I've heard it said from other women. Right. I've heard it said from people walking on eggshells as they're trying to say it. And it's still taken as either shut the fuck up, you bitch ass nigga. Who the fuck are you to say this? Or who is this fucking bitch? Tell this bitch to shut the fuck up. Like this fucking pick me ass bitch, or this fucking you want to be male identifying and all that other bullshit. You know what I mean? So
I mean, I get that because you're right. But I think for just me personally and how I receive information, his approach doesn't, like, I don't want to listen to it because of his tone and because of how he's saying it. I think there's other ways that you can say it for me that'll resonate with me more than the way he delivers it. And that's just me.
I think it's one of them things, like we all people been in work fields. You got to be in wherever you work at. You may not necessarily like how your coworkers say something or whatever the case is, but I feel like if it's not disrespect, like the truth can never be taken as disrespect. That's for one. You know what I mean? And I feel like if it's kind of like petty to get lost in how somebody's saying something. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that thing like, oh, you're not gonna talk to me like that. It's like, nah, but what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody's message is to benefit you, I feel, and it's not to hurt you, then you should hear him out.
I think if it was coming from a person that I was actually considering.
I personally don't think women take criticism well, and this is me as a woman saying this because I've learned that as I've had to learn to take it better. I think that we just personally don't take criticism well.
Right. And I think I learned that through my years of just being in a long relationship where it's like in the beginning, I'm like, oh, like I don't like to be called out. Like that feels weird. You telling me about myself, like that's not true. I don't see it that way. But I really had to like sit with myself, sit alone and really figure out like where that came from and actually learn to listen. Right. And so now that I'm in this like dating world, if somebody like tells me about myself, like, oh, you're a little too overwhelming with your communication. It's like, wait, hold. Like I had to check myself a little bit like, okay, I see where you're coming from. And then I'll be able to like either pull back or handle the situation as such. But I think a lot of people don't like to be called out.
You overwhelming in your communication? Can as a man, we have a man on the phone. Can communication be overwhelming?
Yes.
In what ways, though?
Don't call me 1,000 times. And if you call me and I didn't call you back, or if I didn't respond to you in a certain amount of time, don't double call me. Like,
yeah, he's on point.
That's doing too much. Because then I'm going to be like, yo, what's up with you? Like, you're doing too much.
I do find that when women...
I wasn't thinking about it in that way. I was thinking more of like, are you overly expressing yourself?
Oh,
like,
no. It's more so like an expectation of the idea that I have in my mind of what my communication looks like. And so I sometimes don't take into consideration that like he said, like I actually might be busy or I actually might not have my phone or actually
life is happening at the moment.
Exactly. And it's like, wait, but you don't got 2 seconds, but it's like my phone was on the charger though. I was shitting for 2 seconds. Like, like things like that. And I realized
like women take it as like, oh, he's ignoring me or it's something bad towards them. And it's like, no,
it's not that he don't like me. It's not that he's not interested.
You want to know what's so crazy? I think I have too many brothers and me and my dad are too close. Cause like he was saying that and like literally the other day I got a flat and Kashif was cursing me out because he was like, yo, where the fuck, like, why aren't you answering your phone? I was like, no bullshit. I was talking to the guy that packed my tire, like trying to get this shit for like $0. Like, and that's like weird. I'm like, yo, like what the fuck is wrong with me?
No. And like, I guess that happens, but I do know, and just hearing like women's experiences with men and this, like, I guess since we're talking about communication, and like talking to men, when they see like multiple text messages at a time or just really long text messages, they shut down. They don't even want to deal with it.
You put a post up the other day about like the egg never chase the sperm. The sperm goes to the egg. So what you chasing, pretty much what you chasing these niggas for. Like, and I think that a lot of women need to, especially today, being that everybody wants to lean into their masculinity, is to kind of just have more of that like demeanor and just let that shit come to you, because that men love the chase, the hunt. That's their shit. Like as much as everybody wants to deny genetics and all kinds of shit.
B, you give it too much game.
I'm sorry.
I think that I'm gonna keep it going. What do you mean? But I think that when you overly communicate, you're making it too easy.
We definitely love the chase.
No one loves somebody who's up under their face up all the time.
Right, like you answering 1 second after, like you get too much time on your hands. Like let it breathe a little bit. You know what I mean? Like why is your phone in your hand every second? Like you answering literally it was 0.1 second. That means your phone was in your hand. You were expecting me to text you. That's weird.
My nigga scorecard went down 10 points.
Yeah, this guy had DM me like last week and was like, "You look like you leave niggas on red all day," and I left him right
Brittany
on red.
doesn't answer me like 3 days later. Like, and I already know this. And you know what's so funny?
Those are my friends.
Yeah, but you know what's so funny? Like now, iPhone has this do not disturb. They take it to another level where they let you know.
Why is iPhone blowing up this spot?
It lets you know when that person silenced their phone. So it says it at the bottom, like Brittany's silenced.
And that should be like every opportunity.
Yeah, it says it after every message. It's
Brittany's phone is on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, Brittany's phone is on Do Not Disturb.
That shit lives on Do Not Disturb. But before I let you go, because I know you got shit to do, what do you feel about ultimatums? Because we were watching this show on Netflix called The Ultimatum.
Real quick. For all my fellas, go to your messages, go into the settings, and then share focus, hit the throttle off so they don't get that.
What do you say?
Wait, put them up on game real quick again.
You gotta go to the settings in the messages. Whoever you text and whoever you got on Do Not Disturb or whatever, go to the settings on your messages, and then where it says share focus status, hit the throttle off so they don't get that.
Oh yeah, I did that for mine, but Brittany didn't get the memo.
What it's like? So
If we go get a game, we gotta get a game all the way around.
And listen, all right.
I don't
but
think she cares.
I don't. I literally.
I'm like, oh,
You
she
don't think nobody
like. I'm just
cares?
like, oh, this is Brittany. She doesn't know, or she doesn't care.
P, do you know me? Do you think I care? P,
Well, wait, Zuli. So if you was texting somebody that you like, right, and y'all was dating or whatever the case, or talking, whatever the case, and you got the notification that he silenced your notifications, what would you think?
What did he say?
he said if you was dating somebody and you got the notification that he was silencing your notifications, how would you feel?
I don't think I would take it personal initially because it could be that his phone is completely on do not disturb. So I wouldn't be like, oh, he's like purposely silencing me because I know how it works and I know when I put my phone on do not disturb.
Stop the car.
No, I know if it's not put on. If it's not put on do not disturb, it's like everybody who's texting me.
Yeah.
So I know how it works. I don't think it's like a personal thing. It's like, oh, his phone's on do not disturb.
Yeah.
But if it says like Zuleyma only. I'm like, whoa, okay,
but
then
wait,
I'll address it. But
what do you feel about ultimatums? How do you feel about ultimatums?
It's a no-go.
I
Biggest
only
red
feel.
flag.
You said it's the biggest red flag above White Toes and Hennessy and Backwoods.
Above all of that.
Yo, somebody said the biggest red flag for women is like women who smoke out of Backwoods and drink Hennessy. I hate y'all so bad, but I only feel like ultimatums are okay when like it's like setting a boundary in the sense of like to fuck with me, you gotta deal with this. It gotta be this. Like if you can't get with that, then leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the only time that they really.
No, boundaries are definitely okay. I think ultimatums are things that people have like to push forward whatever their goal they have for their own life. You know what I mean? Not.
What's the craziest ultimatum someone's giving you?
Literally just gonna ask that.
Because you're a wild boy.
I can't. Like that's just some craziness. But I mean,
what's the craziest ultimate? Well, give us a podcast ultimatum you've gotten.
From a female, I don't see me. I don't do ultimatums. I lay my shit down flat. You know what I mean? So I think people don't even expect shit from me. That's my thing. Don't expect nothing from me. Don't expect nothing from me. You know what I mean?
Get, player.
You get what you get. Bro. You know what I mean?
You're fucking hell.
I don't even mean to be like that. You know, just this point of my life, that's where I'm at. I'm focused on me. And at the end of the day, if I'm not right, I can't be right for nobody else. So I ain't even gonna waste your time. I ain't gonna let you waste mine.
I feel like people need to learn how to be by themselves before they can be in relationships. And
I
think that's a lot of what a lot of people's problems
There's
are
a lot
today.
of codependency happening.
So much codependency.
And abandonment issues.
But I know, P, you got to go. So I want to say, being that you're so focused on yourself, you do have something that you need to promote right now. And here's the time to do it.
Oh, yeah. Block Business, July 15th.
Oh, my God. He said it twice. It's April 15th. Again.
I said July again?
Yes, you said July again.
What is the July?
What's
is his birthday in July?
I don't know what's going on July 15th.
July 15th. Yo, I think.
Is his birthday in July?
Oh, you know what? That's my sister's birthday. I'm bugging.
You see?
No, yeah, April 15th.
April 15th. Block Business is coming out. I'm trying to say the D in it.
But
that
mess up his streams.
They is coming out on April 15th, and y'all gonna look out for it. Y'all know y'all gonna get sneak previews from our podcast for sure. I already heard the tape. The shit is fucking fire. Like
all that shit slap, all that shit go.
Oh my
back
God.
To real nigga business. Back to real
I
nigga
text
talk.
him after, and I was like, "You ever heard a song so good it makes your stomach hurt?" Like my stomach was like hurting. When you guys hear this album, you're gonna. It's just gonna really do what it needs to do for the summertime. Just set that vibe, just set that energy out, and I'm proud of you. Keep pushing. You know how I feel about your music, and we'll chat soon.
And make sure y'all all tap in, man. We separating the real from the fakes. Y'all know I love y'all.
And what's the fake best? There we go. Do all that. Do that. Do that.
Untouchable. You know the vibe.
All right. Thanks, P. Talk to you soon.
Alrighty.
Bye.
All right, so back to this ultimatum situation.
Yes. So, guys, did y'all watch the Ultimatum on Netflix? Excuse me, and my nails.
The mess.
Did y'all watch the Ultimatum on Netflix? That shit. I literally text my group chat like, "Are y'all watching this? Because this shit is so." I said, "If you're not, please start because I promise you, you're missing the fuck out. This show is a hot smoking mess.
It's a mess, and it's so cringy. And not cringy. Okay,
no,
I'm not
the
gonna
most
lie,
cringy
it's not
part.
Cringy. There's
No, Alexis,
cringe moments.
Alexis was super cringy. She was cringy as fuck.
Wait, who's Alexis?
Handsome Squidward.
Ugh. Ugh. Alexis, baby girl. Congratulations on your engagement, by the way.
That's fake ass shit.
Girl.
No, you know how they said that she's 25? They said there's no fucking way this bitch.
No, they're all pretty much in their mid-20s, though. Early mid-20s.
Yeah. I think the youngest may have been April. She was 23.
Yeah. So if you don't know what the ultimatum is, and I'm not going to put so much out there, but it's basically couples who have given their partners ultimatums, like either you marry me or I'm done.
Or I'm out of here.
Or I'm out of here kind of thing at the end of it, right? Mm-hmm. I have the finale. The finale's not out yet, right?
No.
When does it come out?
So they are doing that show like they're doing a lot of those Netflix shows where they're doing it weekly. Yeah. So I think there's like another 2 episodes before the reunion comes out.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the 13th, whenever the 13th is, I think in 2 days or so, the next episode comes out. But real quick, what couples do you think are gonna stay together, and what couples do you think are going to like?
Well, we already seen the ones. Yeah, we already seen the ones who broke up.
Okay, we saw the ones that broke up, and then we saw the 2 that got engaged. I don't think that the girl with the tattoo and Buddy are still engaged.
My gosh.
They're probably not.
No, that was a hot mess
but
in itself.
He really was giving like, "Oh, I'm married because I don't want no other."
That was like a real ego moment.
Yes,
that was such an ego moment where he literally robbed her the opportunity of getting to know a man.
Fuck yes, like
like you weren't just saying 2 days ago. And I, at that point, like what April was saying was like, if you gonna really sign up for this experiment,
she was absolutely right with that.
Do the freaking experiment. Like, don't try to rob somebody from their opportunity of getting to know somebody else.
Picked April.
Nobody picked April. Poor April. She had to like force the situation with the other guy who didn't get chosen. God. Who do I think? Well, yeah, I already said the 2 of them broke up. 3 of them broke up. I do think that Zay and Shanique have a thing. I do think they're very much the same.
Let me tell you something. She throwing that thing back like one love for him.
Yeah, I do think they're very much the same.
He remind me of Zeke from
He's giving that. He
gave Zeke in the beginning when he was like first talking. I was like, what's wrong with twitching doing, Papa?
I thought that, like, I'm not gonna lie, and this is kind of like messed up. I thought that there was something wrong with him.
I was literally about to say that he had
Tourette's.
Tourette's.
I think he's on the spectrum a little bit.
I do think so. I thought so too.
But then,
I honestly, at one point, thought he was gay. I'm not even gonna lie.
Really?
He was giving a bit too much.
No, I'm talking about not Zay. I'm talking Zay. You talking about Zay?
Yeah,
really?
I thought he was gay at point.
Okay, because I thought that about Shanique's boo.
Randall.
Randall.
I think about him too.
Randall, right? Anyway,
honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I think a lot of these men's that be on these shows be like DLs. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't want to put that on black men because they be saying that we're thinking that all of them are gay. But it's just certain mannerisms and like. Mm-hmm. But then I'm sorry, I'm not putting that on y'all. But sometimes
you could kind of like there's a little femininity in there.
Sprink. It's okay.
Do your thing. But I did want to touch on Zay because I did think that. Like I said, I thought he was, like something's a little off. But then as the episodes went on, I'm just like, this man has so much trauma. He has so much that he wants to get out and literally doesn't know how to get it out.
No, and so I think that he does want to be in love. Like,
of
and
course,
I really does think that he wants all of that. But I just think that he's just trying to like figure out. I don't even think that if Ray really wasn't so shut off and was really expressive to him and gave him the love and affection that he needed, he would have married that girl.
Absolutely.
Like in a heartbeat.
I think that's what he was waiting for because he was like, I don't even know how she feels about me.
Whereas the other girls are asking for their men, like where the other men are like wanting to be financially stable and just like real astronomical goals of why they don't want to get married. Because there's never, I always say when it comes to marriage and kids, there's never really a right time. You know what I mean?
I did appreciate the honesty with Alexis, where she was like, I'm marrying for financial reasons, whereas everybody did not have a reason.
And
like they didn't have a reason.
Let me tell you something. And one thing I could say about white women, they don't shy away from hiding that shit. Like, they do not want to be breadwinners. They want someone who wants to, like, they want a man to be a man. And that's one thing that I can say, that it's just like, we need to start doing some deprogramming and stop wanting to be the strong black woman. There's nothing wrong with being strong, but you don't have to put everything up on your fucking back. You know what I mean? Like, shit, let these men be one out here wanting to trick, and they be wanting that's the thing that y'all don't be knowing. Yo, they be wanting to trick. They be wanting to. They just gotta find. If you act, I'm not saying you gotta act right for him, but if you just like act like you have some fucking sense, or not just like make shit just mad, extra and uncomfortable, you'll be. The world is your fucking oyster, baby girl.
I do have to say, there was a common like denominator with all these women. Number one, I feel like they all do need to be single and sit with their shit and work on themselves before they do ask for marriage. And two, all these men were asking for the same thing. I need you to fucking listen. Listen and stop talking too much, or listen and speak and not stay quiet. Listen and stop cutting me off.
So
like that type of thing.
Because she had her energy when, and I saw a lot of myself in her when she was mad, when she's like, fuck the ring. Fuck the ring.
I did see his calm demeanor and her like rah. And I can see how her and like, Zay. Yes, I could see.
But I don't even think she was rah, to be quite honest with you. I just think that she's very like, she wants what she wants. And we've said that there are women that feels like you're supposed to be obsessed with me. You're supposed to only be thinking about me, and this is in a third. Like, that's her narrative. That's what she wants from her man.
But that's so sucky, because then it's good and a bad, because then you don't actually see your flaws within yourself, and she has them.
I understand.
But she thinks she's so perfect that she's not even willing to see that there's anything wrong. And he's like, I'm telling you. How many women are gonna
sit up here and tell you what's wrong with them?
But if there's somebody telling you, and this is the reason why I'm not marrying you, you would think that at some point you're gonna sit with it and like, listen, like, if I want this man to marry me, then
you can be like, fuck this nigga. You're bugging. I do this for you. I do that for you. You should be one. You should be jumping to marry me. Look at how her father was like, oh, in my eyes, my kids are perfect. So I'm just confused on why you don't want to marry her. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I think that her and Zay were good for each other, because it was kind of like, you saw a lot of how he reacted. They have similar reactions in the sense of like the walking away, just shutting down. Like, they're very much similar in that aspect, but still shutting down, but reacting at the same damn time.
Right. And I think there was a sense of like, when he came back and he was like, I'm really sorry for acting that way. And all she was like, she literally like everything went out the window. It was like, thank you for apologizing. And I do like how she's like, let me talk. Like, I feel like he needs that. I feel like he needs somebody strong to be like,
I love that she called him out to be like, you know, I understand your traumas, but not all of these situations correlate. You know what I mean? You can't always use your situation to justify your actions in the moment. And one thing I can say in my experience with a lot of men, you guys just need to sometimes do better with, and if y'all gonna sit up here and put women under a microscope, y'all need to be okay with doing the same, in the sense of, and I'm saying this out of complete love, and as somebody who has their own traumas that they've been through, is that you gotta use those situations to be not a victim, but just like victorious of your situation, and allow it to make you better, and just be like, not, you know what, because so-and-so did this to me, I don't ever want anybody to ever feel like that. Or, you know, like, just taking it, just like doing the complete opposite. They always have this post about two sons watch their father grow up as an alcoholic, one never drunk and one became an alcoholic, and that's just, it's really about how you choose to handle your situation. It's always easy to use it as like a crutch or a sob story, you know. So
yeah, I think that's really common in today's world. People are like,
if I was going around like, yeah, you know, I'm sorry, me and you got into an argument because, you know, my mom, you know, she fucking love it.
But there's so much of that going on right now.
You know, that's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah, that's so,
I
like,
can't
don't
fucking stand
like
it.
at what point are you gonna like sit down and kind of like switch the narrative? Like you said, like, I kind of have to like overcome this if I want to be a better person and learn how to handle situations without being triggered from the past.
And know when you're being and be able to acknowledge when you feel triggered. You know what I'm saying? Like there's plenty of times I always say, I will say, you know what, this isn't a you thing, this is a me thing. I need to just get out of this for this moment. I'll handle it. It's not even about you. Sometimes I just have to sit back and just say, you know, why is this making me feel the way that I feel? And I think as much as everybody is putting such a main focus on mental health, no one's actually really doing anything to become mentally strong. And that's the big, I like that, Brittany.
I like that.
I just think that there just needs to be more towards that instead of just always using it as a reason for why you're fucking shitty sometimes.
Do you find that within your time of just being alone, you were able to like sit with yourself and analyze yourself to be better for or a better listener for your current situation, or just handle things a little bit differently?
I think the
just
most thing
that
me being by myself was to be able to not have a man identify who I am.
Right.
And that was the biggest takeaway for me. Like there could be plenty of things like Kashif will like, he was like at first I was like, oh, I'm getting my nails done with green tips. And he was like, green? I was like, yeah, green. And before, like old me would like second guess a lot of things if a man didn't like it. Whereas now is that I just know that I'm fire, and if I choose it and I like it, then that shit's gonna fucking hit. Like it's just
it also goes into what we were saying earlier, how men are like so literal. Like you asked him a question, he said green. Yeah. It's not that he didn't like the pink.
Right.
It's
you know what I mean?
He just wants green this time. Like
yeah. So it's just kind of just like I'm just at a place. I think the best thing it taught me was to just always just like. If you got anybody, you got yourself, and just always pour into yourself because no one's obligated to do that. No
Absolutely.
one's obligated to make you feel like he could not tell me I'm a bad bitch or he could not tell me I'm beautiful or whatever. Yeah, it may be weird or whatever, but it doesn't make me not feel beautiful. Right. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
So, yeah, I think that's just what it just was getting comfortable with myself. That is what I needed, and not always looking for the validity of niggas telling me shit.
Right,
like y'all niggas don't make me. You don't make me feel any better. Like I already know where I'm at. Thank you. It's flattering, but
I think with my time alone, it's more so what would make me react in the past. I wasn't able to really like sit with it because I was very much more reactive and not really figuring out where it came from. So like now in like current situations where somebody says something to me and I'm like, ooh, you just told me about myself. That was a little shot at my ego. Where's that coming from? Within myself. Right. And I think a lot of people are scared to tap into that or lean on their childhood traumas without actually sitting with it, dissecting it, finding therapy, like doing what you got to do so that when that situation comes back again, you'll be able to handle it like calm and poised as opposed to being so reactive and defensive because somebody just called you out on your shit.
Right. And with the Zay and Ray, when he was like her saying like, I don't want to be with you, I'm done. You should, if somebody's talking to you like that, you should not even want to be. I'm not begging you. I'm not begging anybody to be anywhere that they don't want to be.
Right.
I always say, don't try to keep no nigga that don't want to be kept. Like, if that nigga wanted to be kept, he wouldn't be acting a certain way. You get what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, like, but that just goes into the abandonment. And when you're able to, when you see something that you saw in yourself, that shit be crystal clear. And I'm like, that reassurance that he needs, if the people who brought you in this world can just give you up or choose other than you, the amount of shot to you do so much I felt for him because it's like, you have to do so much unwiring because it's like, that's abandonment. There were situations that I knew I was staying in way too long because it's just like, I didn't want to let that person go because it's just, it had nothing to do with them. Right. It was a situation.
And she was the most consistent person in his life in a while, 2+ years. So it made sense why it hurt him so much that like she was
able to vocalize why you
with everybody.
But that's just
with
weird.
Everybody.
That's weird.
She needs to sit with it.
Yeah.
Because I could relate a little bit where if I'm put on the spot, it's not in a sense where I'm just like, yeah, I'm okay. Like I will go and like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm feeling this and that, but that's it. I'm just being put on the spot, but I know where it's coming from. I don't like attention. I don't like being put on the spot. So I know where it comes from. I know when people raise their voice at me, like guys that I've dated in the past, like I'm not able to retain information because I don't understand you any less, whether you're talking to me and like if you're talking to me loud, I'm not gonna understand you better.
More.
Yeah,
like making your point's not getting across better
like you're
because
actually making it worse because now I'm shutting down. So now everything that you say, I'm just gonna be like, okay, I understand. Like I'm literally gonna shut down. It's gonna be very hard for me to communicate. Whereas if and this is without putting too much information out there, the current situation that I'm in is like, I speak, you speak. What's the solution? Right? Nobody's cutting. There's no argumentative tone. It's literally a conversation.
But you know,
and that works for me.
It's good. Those are things that like I always feel like in the beginning it could be one way, but people need to carry those things out. You get what I'm saying? Because as feelings develop, people, like we were saying, your representative starts to die off.
Right. So, I was saying the light and the shadow. So the first 3 months is all freaking roses and peaches, and they're so light. Like, this is the best person they're all putting their best foot forward. They're going to tell you everything that you want to fucking hear. And they're going to paint this picture that they're this most beautiful, perfect person. Give it about 3 months, you're going to start seeing the mannerisms, how they respond, how they're able to receive your information, how they live, and all that. Just like, wait a minute, you are a totally different person. It's like, no, you just saw me in my light. This is my dark. Are you
still comfortable?
Are you still comfortable? Are you going to ride with me in my dark? Or was it just like,
do you feel like that's what it is? Like people love the honeymoon phase and then it's just kind of like.
I think people like newness. I think people like the feeling of that new person coming in and feeling like not necessarily like obsessed with the person, but the attention that they get in the beginning. And then once that slowly dies down, it's like, like you were saying, like guys, like the whole chase thing, right? Once you kind of have that person, it's like when they just start getting comfortable and it's like, oh, okay, I'll get to her when I get to her kind of thing. And the chase is kind of done.
I think that goes both ways though, because sometimes as women, we start to lose the appeal of the chase when we get comfortable in relationships. Whereas the shit that you was doing to like look good and keep with yourself, some women gain a massive amount of weight or whatever the case may be. And I personally don't think, and vice versa, if I was with a man and he gained 60 pounds, I personally don't like heavyset guys. Right. So now all of a sudden I gotta like you heavyset. You get what I'm saying? Like that's.
Do you think that at that point, like just this obviously hypothetical, you dated somebody who was this size, right? And then they kind of gain weight. Would you be in question? Would you be like, hey, what's up? Like you good?
Yeah, I would want to know what's wrong with you.
And then if it's something like, I just don't care to go to the gym, then you're like, I'm out. Or is it like,
I don't know if I'm out. I think I just might be entertaining a few niggas for a little while so you can get shit together.
But to the point of like us,
kinda, maybe.
Well, I don't remember if this was the previous conversation or this one. We were talking about how we kind of like make things, well, not you because you have your phone on Do Not Disturb all the time.
All the time.
But like we kind of make it easy for men just by being a little too available. And please don't take that as an extreme and be like, oh yeah, I won't respond in a month kind of thing. But
no, it's just,
don't be sitting at your phone waiting for this person to respond because they might actually be busy.
I don't know if I said it on this podcast.
I'm like trying to remember.
If we're repeating things, please don't mind us. But I told the last week some dude DM'd me and was like, "You look like you need to leave niggas on red all day." And
that was the last one.
I'm like,
she does.
I do, and you're left on red right the fuck now.
Yeah. But I do think that I think you gave advice. Was it to men? I don't know if it was this one or last one. But as for women, I think that we do need to do, especially single women, just taking accountability for actions. I think that's something that guys really look for, and just being a listener and providing
and not an overanalyzer,
and just providing a safe space for your person to be able to feel comfortable with expressing, hey, I'm not happy right now with this relationship, without you feeling like it's a shot to your ego.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I don't think a lot of women can handle this.
All right, go for it.
And I'm saying that because I'm always kind of like the female friend.
Yeah, go for it.
And I feel like as we get older, like we only get finer as we get older, right? And I just feel like as women realize, well, like, okay, we were kids and we were cool and cute, and you know, I don't want to say I was tomboyish, but I wasn't really like I'm not like I would show tits today without a problem, you know? Whereas it's like, okay, these were always my friends, and I feel like their women start to look at me like, this is your homegirl, and nothing ever happened between y'all. Like, you're fucking lying. You're fucking lying. Like, imagine, think about this. You know, if you was dating a guy and he told me like, oh, that's my best friend,
would I feel the same? Like,
would you feel away?
If let's say like my man walked in, I'm like, oh yeah, this is my best friend. Is that
no? If you were dating a guy, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, I'm
you're that. Oh, okay.
I'm
okay.
his best friend.
Okay.
Without knowing me.
Without knowing you. Yeah, I'll be like, is she really? Yeah, like naturally, like, is she really? And how long have you guys been friends? And has there been any history?
And
I think that's natural. That's a natural question to ask.
I feel like they don't believe it though. Like, if y'all really fucking knew me,
right?
I have 3 fucking brothers, and my uncle is 8 years older. My youngest uncle is 8 years older than me, and he lives with us. So I've always grew up around. It was actually harder for me to become friends with girls than it is to become friends with guys, because it's just a more cut dry thing. You don't have to really like tiptoe as much. You know what I mean? So,
I think
that shit is just so funny. And I just think that like women, as much as you want to, I've grown to realize that my man is one of my best friends, but there are some things you can't come to your man about all the time about. And there are a lot of things that I'm grateful that I have other guys to kind of like, even if I'm indirectly talking to them and they're just indirectly helping me with my situation, it's kind of just good to have that opposite sex to kind of just pick brains with.
I have issues like just making genuine male friends without there being like a level of attraction on the opposite end, not even from me.
I'm older now. Yeah. But all of like my child, like those are like childhood friends.
Yeah,
you
that
know
makes
what I mean?
sense. So I also think, to go back to your question, like if I had a boyfriend and his best friend was you, or vice versa, it was me. I'm just also just the type of person, like if she's fucking with me, like what's the problem? You know what I mean? Like if there's direct
and I've
disrespect,
always been that girl. Like that's always like, yo, like bring her, you know, like, and always welcoming and very.
But if it's something like, oh, you coming out tonight?
Yeah.
Don't bring your girl. Yeah. Then that's when I have problems.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why can't, like, we can all fucking kiki. If there's nothing really going on, then why don't you want me here? Because if you don't want me there, then that means you're
hiding something.
Exactly. So I always say, like, if you got female friends, pretty or not, as long as they're not disrespecting our current situation or anything like that, then I really have nothing to address.
And I actually am at the point now where it's like, I don't mind it, because it's like, you need to hear another woman sometimes saying the exact shit that I'm saying that you're probably not registering from my mouth. But the way that Shanique did for Ray, where she was, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Where even though that was the prime example of exactly how that's supposed, like, you don't know why she's not talking. You don't know what she's going through or what she went through on why she's acting the way that she's acting.
And I have been put in a situation where, like, I would express my feelings to a certain person and they're honest with me. They're like, I had to reach out to my friend because I needed a female perspective, because I needed to know if I'm tripping. and they'll be like, yeah, you tripping, like you toxic, like you're tripping, like she has every reason, and I appreciate that. I would rather them go to whether it's I don't know, their cousin or something, like a female perspective other than my own.
Right.
I think it's cool.
I'm all for it. I love hearing the opposite sex's opinion, and I think it should be both ways.
Because I want to know if I'm tripping. Like, did I say like
I told you? Okay, so I'm so annoyed with all of them. What the
hell is that smell?
They food smell like, it smells like ravioli. Like
it smells like hospital food.
Ravioli. Like Chef Boyardee. So y'all, this man is playing on my phone. We were supposed to have, on top of that, there was supposed to be a special caller today from a really, really, really big one of our favorite podcasts, everybody's favorite podcast, right? So that's all I'm gonna say about that part. But I did want to read his little 2 cents, because he was like basically commenting on.
He was rolling out the red carpet. He was rolling out the red carpet for Lord Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, I don't want to say he was rolling out the red carpet, but I do want to say I have seen a similar narrative between the men's. And he was saying
the men's.
He was saying that we can't really have a man-woman dialogue because the name calling will start and people will become dismissive and not accountable. So if a woman tells where men are coming short and deficient, it's okay. If men do the same, they are misogynistic, insecure, gay, they have self-hate, etc. One thing that I am getting is that a lot of them are just feeling like it's just women's turn to be up under the microscope, and we're just not comfortable with it. Well, some women are just not comfortable.
Well, I think that women have, the women who go on this little situation with Kevin Samuels, I don't think they are understanding what reciprocating is. The same energy, the same, like, for example, I don't feel comfortable sometimes going out on dates or meeting somebody new because, and it's not to say that I don't feel worthy. It's just that, like, I'm not in the right headspace to present myself in a way where I have something to show for you. Like, I just really don't. And that's just honest of me. And I let them know, I'm like, hey, it has nothing to do with you. I'm just literally not in that headspace. And I would just rather them direct that energy to somebody who is ready rather than somebody who's not. And I don't think a lot of women like really sit with themselves enough to really do that. I think they just walk into it like with already expecting this person to be what they maybe saw on Instagram or something.
A checklist. It's like a weird checklist. Like, he has to have this, he has to have that, da, da, da. But it just makes it not feel personable in the sense of like this. Anybody can fit this role of you getting married in 2 years, this whole life plan that you have. Anybody can be popped in here. What are you really developing? Like, where's the bonds? Because it's just honestly very self-serving in the sense of like, I'm knocking off my checklist no matter who's up to bat, So,
I also, this just came up in my mind that we were talking about like the social media. I think that a lot of people walk into situations thinking that the person that they DM'd is going to be that same exact person that's going to be sitting in front of them. Like, because of what they've already posted, right?
Is that something you like?
I do. I think that people like the idea of certain things, right? They like the idea, and I'm speaking for myself in particular, like the idea that I'm vegan. The idea, because they assume that I taste better, or like they have this like weird
oh my God, that goes into my 2 cents. I'm so sorry, because I cannot. Some of y'all vegans only eat fucking Oreos, and y'all pussy smell bad.
But this is the thing.
This is the thing, is that y'all, that weird, this goes in real quick. That video this week of that trans girl talking about trans pussy is better, it tastes better, this is and that. No, I'm sorry, and this is not nothing against no vegan community or none of that, but not all of y'all are healthy. Not
Absolutely.
all of y'all are, and your lifestyle, you do not have to shit on other people or to make yourself seem better.
Right.
Because if that was the fucking case, anybody who has to go out their way to do that shit, it's almost like you're convincing your fucking self.
Are you really setting yourself up for failure? Because are
All right.
you really tasting yourself?
That's what I'm saying. You fucking
Are you
weirdo.
really? Like, I be really hearing stories. I'm like, wow, she really smelled like that.
That's what I'm
Like, she
saying.
didn't
Like
know?
that's what I'm like to sit up here and just assume like, oh well, that's weird as fuck. Because I know a
Yeah.
lot of vegans that don't eat right,
Absolutely.
don't do what they're supposed to do, and
Yeah.
eat a bunch of bullshit just because it's not meat or fucking dairy.
But that goes into what I was saying. It's like they have this idea,
it.
and I'm just like, you don't really
pussy is bad.
know me. I really think that you like the idea of me, and
My thing is, I
I
think
don't.
I go through that a lot because I have like I think
you deal with it in the fact that people have this, guys have this weird fetish of,
they have a fantasy of what their wife and baby mother's gonna be like, and I'm not saying that to
right,
be
and so
any kind of
they're
way.
like, oh, she's a mother of 3, and they just want to experience
No,
that.
it's not even that. Just that it's she's a mom. Her body, it's everything that's in it. Cause they not just going for any fucking just bitches with mom like kids. It's a certain, and on top of that, like when I do get on my, people listen to this and people know me in real time. I have like a disgusting, like it's a lot of personality that be oozing out sometimes that is just kind of like, what the fuck? And I think that people like the idea of me in the sense of, in this, but it's weird because you're not going to be able to get access to me. So it's like weird.
Right.
So I think they more like the fantasy. if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a weird,
But I think with
space.
you, it's more of whatever they see online, and it's just kind of like, okay, but who is this person actually when you come across, and you're not like a expressive, boisterous, like, so it's just kind of like, okay, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's just like, now what, you know?
I mean, yeah, it's just kind of like a weird space. Like people see me out and they're like, oh, you're like the fruit girl. And I'm like, yeah, hi, I'm here. Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
Yes.
Hey, like, you want me to, like,
that's what I be saying. Like
what?
sometimes, like, but you know what? And I'm not. This is all for you. But there's a lot of people that I meet out here that y'all will see online, and their personalities are just kind of like, oh,
yeah,
never mind. Like,
yeah.
you
And
know,
then,
so.
but there's people reaching out to them, loving the idea of them. And then it's like, when they meet them in person, it's like, they're either, like, for example, you on social media, nobody knows your personality, right? So when they see you in person, you're just like, yeah, I'm not interested in you. And you just like walk away. It's like, oh, well, that's not really what you presented on social media. But it's like, this is something that you created in your head that you thought I was. But I'm actually this person. This is my personality. This is how I speak and this is how I express myself. But in their mind, they think you're this like, let me skate and be like, you know what I mean? Like they just create this whole.
The thing is with me on social media is that I don't think I'm giving as much as I want to give. That's one.
Yeah.
But I'm not a performative person.
Right.
That's one.
Right.
So I think with you on social media, you come off as somebody that's always on social media. Hey guys, da, 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 da. So then they expect you to be this way in person.
Absolutely.
Whereas with me, you're getting what you're getting, and then you're getting more in person. So now it's just like, what the fuck? Like, okay, like I'm not somebody that is over performative on the internet. If I feel like fucking posting, I'll fucking post. If I don't, I fucking don't. If I feel like talking shit on my story, I'm gonna talk shit. And what I'm saying is what I meant. I'm not being a character of somebody that like you just are. It's not, I don't want to say, because it's what you do. Like, this is a part of your shit. So it's like they see you acting a certain way on social media, and that's not who you are. That's not how you want to give it up in person. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I think when people do meet me in person, they don't automatically assume that I'm I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm more so expressive with people that I'm comfortable with. right? So, and I'm expressive on my social media because that's my comfort zone as well. Like I'm by myself.
But that's such like a juicy contradiction because it's like you're putting yourself out in
for
front
sure.
of thousands of people, but then expecting to be closed off.
But I don't think that I am when I meet people in general. Like I don't think I'm a closed off
If you're
person.
only comfortable with people that you're comfortable with, then it can come off closed off.
Right. Like I'm able to hold a conversation. If somebody asks me a question, it's not like, oh, like I'm a bitch. I'm just a very low speaking, soft spoken kind of person where I'm not going to have this boisterous personality, but I also don't put a boisterous personality on social media. I'm still very much like, this is my tone of voice on all my videos. This is my tone of voice when I'm on stories. This is like the voice, like my octave doesn't go up. It's like, hey, today, like that, like you're not going to get that in person and you're not going to get that on social media either. It's more like, this is how I feel at the moment. This is what I want to put out. This is how I get myself together. This is what brings me peace, whether it's like my plants or me eating or whatever the case may be. So I allow people in my space in that way. But I don't ever get the, like no one ever says like, oh, you're not the same person that I see on social media. Like no one really has ever said that to me. But I do see how somebody can kind of fetishize with the idea of what they created me to be, I guess.
I think that's social media within a whole. Like everybody is romanticizing something on social media. I just think that I just hate it here. I'm not even gonna lie, because I just think that like I think that the whole social media thing is weird because it's like everybody wants to be on social media but don't want to be social, and it's like fuck it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like I want to be on social media. I want to put everything out here, but I also want privacy. I think
it's just about finding a balance, because I don't want to put everything about myself out there, and I don't want everybody to know about my life. So I think it's a balance of me just putting what I want to put out with intention, and then keeping things to myself that I want to keep to myself. Because I think that when you put everything and anything, it just leaves room for more people to criticize who you are. And it's just like entering an arena that like a lot of people are not prepared for. And I would just rather not. So like, I just put out what I can actually handle getting criticism for, because somebody's always going to judge me, regardless if I'm putting out fucking eating soursop or if I'm talking about Kevin Samuels. Like there's always going to be somebody who's going to say something, and it's just a matter of like, are you able to handle the criticism or not in that space? But I definitely pick and choose what I want to put out there. And if so, like last time I posted was last week today. Like today's Tuesday, right? Tuesday last week was the last time that Tuesday last week was the last time that I posted.
I don't know. Social media is a weird place.
It is a weird space.
I really don't comprehend like to people at all. Like space. I just think that like I said last episode, if you are like, the whole point is you want people to come into your world, but you can't. I think that this is what's wrong. Like what's weird about today. It's just like, it's like, yeah, it's like a certain amount of inclusive, like what you want included. Like, I don't know. I think, like, for example, with the Cardi B situation this week, right? Everybody can hone in on the negative aspects of things. You can stop just taking the negative from shit and just realize the positive outcome from certain things. And getting so wrapped up in negativity is that shit gotta be suffocating. Like there's no fucking way that y'all are letting something that can literally be put down like this control your life like that. And that shit is just like odd.
Wait, what happened with Cardi B? Is that was people were talking about her kids? Is that situation?
She was going on, because she was supposed to go to about her being at the Grammys and all that stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, I
think that there are people who do better with putting the phone down and just allowing somebody else to run it so that they don't have to deal with it. And I think that in her situation, I feel like she just needs to address everything to defend herself. But
I just
yeah,
feel
I think
like
she
if
could
you
just put the phone
if you
down.
cannot handle criticism, or if you just want to be some like little in the shell fucking person, do not be on social media.
Right.
Do not be on social media. This shit is a weird ass concept to me. You cannot put all this fucking content out here and not expect niggas to have an opinion about it. It's fucking weird.
Sometimes, like, depending on, I'm finding now, like, okay, this isn't worth my time. I'll just block them. They don't have to be here.
Social media isn't real. Like, a lot of these people aren't fucking real. Like, I can honestly say how many people, like, I've met in real time out here that actually have a third of the personality that they fucking present on social media. These people are blank.
Well, because there's people who use social media as, like, they have a persona, and then there's people who use social media to just put their personal life out there, and there's people who use social media for business purposes and promotional purposes. I think it's just a matter of, like, what space you actually want to be in, and then, like, hone in onto it. Yeah,
everybody, I'm over social. I don't even want to talk about it no more because I cannot wait to
it's a weird
I cannot
space.
wait for the documentary to come out and how this has done so much mental fucking damage to people.
Absolutely.
Because there's no way that shit is contributing to all y'all mental health issues, all of this violence, online violence that has been happening, sex trafficking. This shit has been doing a lot of shit that y'all are literally using the wrong fucking way. And if it's making that much of an impact on your life and your mental, you need to log the fuck out.
Right. I think when that whole, like, Will Smith Jada situation.
Before you knock them.
Oh no, I'm not moving my feet. The whole, like, Will Smith and Jada situation, like, that whole week, I'm just like, I cannot fucking be here because there's so many issues that are actually going on in this world, and everybody's talking about the same fucking shit that you have no idea what happened, like, behind closed doors. And so I just have to, like, really put my phone down. I'm like, ain't no way everyone in the whole fucking world.
That's every day.
Like, it's in fucking sane.
Every day it's the same topic. I watch people post it. I've muted so many. Y'all stories all look the same. I want to tell y'all, all y'all stories look the same. Y'all all post the same dumbass memes.
The same.
When something happens, it's weird.
It's like we're robots connected, and is extremely more divided than we've ever been, I think.
But that's at your own doing. No, it's at people's own doing because everybody wants to feel like they're so different from everybody when niggas are all the same. I literally said to D,
saturated space for sure.
I literally said to D, like, yo, every girl that is so different has the same exact look. Yeah. Everyone who's so unique, weird, spiritual, this is and the third, all have the same exact look. Every last one. It's fucking generic. It's all generic. So, like, I just need everybody to just, like, everyone wants to act like they're just so, like, oh yeah, I'm this. Justin said, oh, I don't want to hear that homebody shit. That means you just don't have no friends. Like, yo, like, stop feeding that. I feel like everything y'all feed is gonna grow. Racism, fucking this mental health shit. There's all of this shit, you keep feeding it, it's gonna fucking grow. It grows. The more you do that shit, it's fucking gonna grow.
Yeah, I agree.
Y'all be making me exhausted. I don't even know how we fucking got here.
I don't even know. Oh, we were talking about people in our DMs. What is it? Creating a version of
I don't even think like I said, I don't even think that, like, people, there's nothing about me that you can create that's not real. Like, there's nothing that you can give me. They can't say, like, oh, I met Brittany and she was like, I'm not like somebody who's gonna shell up when I'm around people. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not somebody who's gonna be like, even yesterday when dude called me, I was talking to this guy who's on, like I said, on the podcast, and he was talking, he's like, yo, like, just really feeling the fucking vibe, like, yo, like, and despite whatever I say, niggas be, and that's the problem, they want the energy, they know whatever little bit that y'all are getting from me, because I'm not somebody who posts all the fucking time. If I post shit, I'm skating. You don't hear my voice, you don't hear, you don't see, the most you're getting from me is from this podcast, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I think everybody's weird. I think everybody's worried about the wrong shit.
Yeah.
You
I think
know?
so too.
And it's just, I think it's more just people just seeing, like, I think people, they see when it's you can see when certain shit is just like, oh, that's really just how that person really, she don't get, what people get from me more than anything is I'm not moving at nobody's fucking drum, I'm not moving at nobody's beat but my own. And I think that's what people pick up on the most, of just somebody just choosing to really live their best life, period.
And I think everybody should live their best life.
I do it like it's my B-day, baby.
Every day.
I don't know.
Do we want to do this or that now?
Yes.
Or is there something else?
I talked about the trans girl talking about the whole vagina thing. I just feel like if you're gonna identify as a woman, like, are you a trans girl? Are you a trans woman, or do you identify as a woman? Because if that's the case, either or, regardless, there doesn't need to be. It's hella misogynistic for someone who was born male to say that they're someone that you say that you identify as you're better than. That shit is weird as fuck to me.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of everybody. Oh, this do it better. Oh, a bitch can never. Bitch, shut the fuck up.
I do think that
90% of people who talk like that.
I do think that if you're trans male or female, I think that you should just say you're trans male or female. I don't think that, like, if you're going to identify as a woman, then you have to take in everything that a woman goes through. Like, you can't pick and choose when you want to be like, oh, I'm a trans woman and I'm woman today. Like, I think you really have to take on being a full woman.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that's all I have to say on that.
I think it's just wrong. And if you want so much embrace from everybody else, you cannot be divisive like that.
Right.
It's not cool. That's
what I'm saying.
Cool.
I feel like we're all, it's a strange place. And I say this like almost every day that I wake up. I'm like, yo, this is just like a strange, there's like a strange energy. There's a strange feeling where it's like, wow, like humans are actually we're very strange and very complex, to the point where it's just like certain behaviors and certain things that people say, I'm just like, wow, like, yeah, that's strange. Like, you really think like that? Like, it's just like a weird, I don't even know how to explain it. But sometimes I'm just like, yo, it's like literally just all feels fucking fake. Like, everything just feels fake. And it's like a weird mental space to be in sometimes. And that's why, like, I'm alone a lot of the time. Because I'm just like, I really just don't want to be around this weird energy that's going on these days. It's like a weird, I don't know if you feel it, but I feel it. I'm like, it's a weird. It's just weird.
The energy that I've been on lately is just focusing on my fucking self and the shit that makes me smile, the shit that makes me happy.
That is, but you can't.
I think anything you feed into, or like we were just saying before, old me, I could have easily just been like, you know what, fuck this. Why the fuck we just did this for 2 fucking hours. We just did this. We just did that. And it's like, yo, where is that getting us? Where is that going to get me?
Right.
It's all about how you choose to respond to life. I don't care what anybody, you have the choice to be happy. You have the choice to wake up and just make the best out of every situation. You have the choice to feed into whatever negativity is going on in the world. When all boils down to it, when I don't turn on the news, because none of that shit is immediately affecting me right in this moment.
I don't even got cable.
Like, come on, that shit is a waste of time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like an energy shift for me. Even when I'm by myself, it's a real like energy shift. I'm just like, this is weird. It's like in the air. I don't even have to be around people. I'm just like, this is just very like strange. So let me just do me and not really like entertain humans.
I'm into, if it's positive, bright energy, baby, come my way. I'm all into human connecting and us understanding each other and us trying to find a way and a balance to just better cohabitate with one another and just making life easier. The more we like separate ourselves from, this shit just is gonna get worse. When you start having the conversations and start, you don't know who's whose mood you may actually, energy is everything. So if I'm having good energy, I want to at least put that shit back out. You know how I can't stand that lady that works at the leasing office. You know, I would have never went over there and asked her for no damn card. But I went over there and was like, hey, can we have the Wi-Fi? It was simple. It was easy. Her energy, even when she came in here, was weird and annoying. I paid that shit no fucking mind because if you want to be a dumb bitch, that's your fucking business.
Right.
But I'm going to be a happy ass, bad ass, smiling ass, paid ass bitch.
But do you feel like on days where maybe like your energy's a little bit off, you kind of say to yourself because you don't want to like project it?
When my energy is low, I find something to do because honestly, isolating yourself isn't, sitting in that shit has not ever gotten me anywhere. I'm over that. I'm being like, I don't want to be in bad spaces with nobody, with nothing, with none of that. I want to be able to handle my emotions when they come at me and be able to react in a way where it's conducive to me being like, you know what, I'm proud of you for, you know what, taking that head on instead of like just sitting in that shit.
Right.
You know, I just want to be able to like, I really just want to be able to respond better to things. I want to be able to not let shit fuck my days up. I want to, if I destined to have a good fucking day, that's what the fuck I'm going to do.
Yeah. And I think that's something that I can honestly say that I'm like working on, just the idea of it being a choice, because sometimes I allow like, you know, financial stresses and things like that. And I'm just like, I feel like, and people could take this advice or not, right? Which goes to what you're saying. I feel like the more thought that you put into that struggle, whether it's like your work, your boss, I feel like you're manifesting more of
negativity in your life
onto your life.
100%.
Whereas just like, you know, take it as what it is. Like, this is just like a temporary thing. Go for a walk, read a fucking book,
go work
watch
out,
your show, go work out,
go get dressed and go somewhere.
Right.
If you, me, I'm the type of person when I like to get myself together, look good, feel good, go take some pictures if that makes you feel happy. Go outside and go just sit and go for a walk. Go sit down by just some nature. And
but
just
I do have to say, like when my energy is like slightly off, I would rather do those things alone. Like for sure, 100%. Like go for a walk, go on a hike. Like I've been going on hikes by myself.
That's absolutely fine. There's always time for you to. I'm always here for the reset. Like whatever you have to do to reset and recharge, do that shit. But to just sit on pause and on stop, that shit is whack.
Nah,
we moving along. We got shit to do.
We sure do.
Shit to do.
Time goes by.
What my baby girl Rihanna say? I know Rihanna and Tiana are my sisters. When you don't feel like it, pretend. Who the fuck wants to be crying and doing all of that shit? No, we got just pretend, because even when you pretend, sooner or later you'll start feeling right into that, especially if that's something that feeling like you normally into.
There's also so many things to be grateful for. Like
so
I feel like
if
you're like heading into
Brittany's
that, like,
appreciation month, I'm still here. You're welcome. The fuck?
I feel like if you're in a space where you're like those negative intrusive thoughts are coming in, just always remind yourself of all the things that you're actually grateful for, which is, it could be the fucking luggage that's sitting right here. I'm so grateful that I have this luggage and I can pick up and travel. Like it could be the smallest things, and you'll realize that your energy will shift after you start repeating all the things that you're grateful for.
Look how we was recording in the first place. Now look at how, you know what I'm saying? Remember when we were losing crappy audio, freaking out. Like the fuck? Fuck out of here. I ain't stressing this shit.
And I know yo, I fucking cried, and I know where it's coming from. Like I'm on my period, guys.
Girl,
and
every time like me and him get in like a little slight of an argument, I say, oh yeah, I'm about to have my period.
Yes, I know where it's coming from. So I was just like on a level of like just fucking frustration. Anyway, we're here now. We're an hour and 18
I smoked blunts and everything's fine now. Here we are.
Here we are, an hour and 18 minutes in, about to now get into our this or that.
Or this. You could get with this, or you could get with that. You could get with
oh my
this,
gosh, you record that.
Huh?
You should put it on here.
What?
That song so you can play it.
Wait. Hold on.
I really hope my phone's
we about to do. Hold on, y'all, because it's a lot of going. My phone died. Both my phone did.
How do we do this? Is it on your Instagram? Do your pictures go
I
on your
kind
phone?
of
Have an idea. So the this or that had to
this
do
or
with
that. I remember
liquors.
it had to do with liquors. I don't know the exact percentages, but I do know who won what.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start off with.
Wait, do your photos go to your computer?
Not
Like
this, not that phone.
Oh, okay.
We had the first one I had was Bacardi and Smirnoff. My friend Lanisha was like, Lanisha, you my girl now. But she was like, oh yeah, I wasn't really trying to get fucked up because everybody picked Bacardi. And I feel like everybody was drinking Bacardi back in the day.
Yeah.
Like it was, but why did I not know that was rum? I always thought Bacardi was vodka.
Nah, girl.
I know that they had the Puerto Rico, like the one we make, the coquito.
Yeah, that's why I always knew. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I thought that was just like because it was clear. I think me being young and dumb, I always considered clear
as vodka.
Makes
sense. That makes sense.
But Bacardi took that. It was
What was it? Bacardi and what?
Smirnoff. The reason why I picked those because those were the two that always had those.
my God.
Smirnoff is disgusting.
Ugh.
That shit is like drinking rubbing alcohol, y'all. But they had the most flavors, and
Yeah.
I was gonna put it against Sveka. Remember Sveka?
Even somebody had bought like a grape flavored. Oh, it was so gross. That's because it was one of the cheapest. It was like what, $12 or something.
Yes. What's funny is Ciroc is that cheap now today. Isn't that wild? And we
It used to be like
Ciroc
$40, and like, oh, we don't got $40. Svedka. Like,
yo, like that shit was
Oh my
like dirt
gosh.
fucking cheap, yo. Zulu, we used to have some drunk times back in the day, y'all. Like OD.
I can't do it anymore.
Shit, yeah. Just come watch me, see me in a couple of weeks. Be sauced as a fucking. But I do. Oh, the next one we had was Four Locos versus Twisted Teas.
I never had Twisted Tea. That's why I chose Four Loko. I never liked Four Loko either, but
honestly do not like how many people had chose Four Locos, and Four Locos won over Twisted Teas, y'all. Yeah, I was.
did
really
you like Twisted Tea? Is that?
Not that I liked either. It's
Yeah.
just that I could not handle a Four Loko. Like
Okay.
Four Locos were like drinking like raccoon piss and battery oil. There were
I remember like people saying like how dangerous it actually was.
no, they were really bad. Like I feel like there's gonna be a commercial years from now.
Right, like
were
if you
drinking
drank-
Four Locos,
and it's like all like
please call. You are in a
all the millennials like just
claim-
lining up like
you know, like you can receive $40.
anybody from the age of like what 28 to 35 right now.
Yeah, for sure. Had
Yeah.
a Four Loko.
Had a Four Loko.
That shit was wild. Twisted Teas were just
Yeah.
as bad though. Like them shits were nasty. It was like
I need to
it was
look
like
at
a Long Island iced tea soda.
ew.
It was disgusting. What else did we have? I'm so mad at myself right now. I'm trying to remember, y'all.
You had Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Mike's Hard Lemonade versus Smirnoff. Everyone went with Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yeah, for sure.
What else did we have?
White Claw and Truly.
White Claw and Truly. Everybody went with White Claws. I think both are equally disgusting.
I like them both, but
They never get cold.
what, girl?
I feel like I've had them like out the thing, and they always feel like they've never
Like
been
room temperature?
Like I've never had one like that was like, ooh, this shit is like cold.
Oh,
Like it
okay,
just
okay.
doesn't get like
I
past a
see what
certain
you're
level of
saying.
cold.
I
at
see
all.
what you're saying.
We had Grey Goose versus what the fuck
Was it Ciroc?
Yes, versus Ciroc. Ciroc won that.
Yeah.
I was surprised that even people picked Grey Goose. We had E&J versus
that
Henny.
is
Nobody
rubbing
picked E&J. Everybody
Yeah.
was drinking Henny.
There was
I
one.
feel like there was one more. My phone. It's been a long day, y'all. So
There was one more. Hold on. No, I think that was it.
that was it, right?
Yeah, I think that was it.
I think there might be one more, but if I forgot it, but that one was mad fun. Yeah, I really was like, yo, neither. Everybody was like, these are disgusting.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, neither, but I gotta choose one. And if I choose, it's gonna be this one. I never seen this Twisted Tea thing.
Oh, it was Hypnotic and Nouveau. Everyone
Oh,
chose
yes.
Hypnotic, but I used to drink Nouveau. Because
I used
it
to
was
drink
pink.
it too.
Yeah, we probably was drinking.
But Hypnotic
Doc
was
the one
more-
who put rest in peace. Doc Day is coming up
Yes.
soon.
Very
He was the
true.
one who put me onto Nouveau.
Same.
OD. Mhm.
I became familiar with it because of him.
Mhm.
But I would see Hypnotic more.
I only drank Hypnotic because we was doing Incredible Hulks a lot.
Okay, that
And
makes sense.
That was a Henny and Hypnotic thing
Yeah.
that they were mixing together. But one day, I think I'm
feel
going
like
to
those
finally
give me a
do
headache.
my Mandela Effect episode. Maybe next this or that, I'll do the Mandela Effect
Okay.
on things that did you remember it existing this way or the bullshit that they're trying to feed you today? Because everybody's trying to tell me that Shazam didn't happen. Oh, no, this is a Shaq movie. No, bitch. Sinbad was a genie as well. And no one remembers it.
Was there two versions?
No. Well, y'all are... I don't mean to like offend anybody when I say this, but I just feel like my brain was one of the ones that were not picked out of like whatever experiment that's going on right now.
I did see a picture with Sinbad though.
Yes, he's
on the
but
cover
people
of,
literally like, oh no, this is fake. It never existed. Guess the fuck it did. And they're like the whole
They're
Mandela.
saying that the whole Shazam never existed.
Remember, yeah, the whole movie with Sinbad never existed.
I don't think I watched the movie, but I definitely heard of Shazam movie.
Yes. So then there's the one about like the Bernstein Bears. Like there's that ones about like how they were spelled in Sex. And when I was younger, I remember it being Sex in the City.
Yeah, Sex in the City.
No, it's Sex and the City, they say it is. They say it was never Sex in the City. See, it's shit like that that'd be fucking mind-boggling me. Or like the way they spell Skechers now, like it's kind of funky. They were saying, remember Fruit of the Loom back in the day with that little, it had like the fruit hat and that like little acorn, that little pilgrim thing. They said that was never there. The Oracle.
So where was it in?
They said that we made that up. That we're imagining it.
No, that's not true.
Monopoly, the guy they saying that he never had.
Oh, yes, he did.
They said that never existed.
Yes, he for sure did.
I'm telling you, there's so much shit on that Mandela effect list that y'all gonna be like, bitch, what? Like, it pisses me off all the time. I swear to God, it's so frustrating. But that was our this or that. Is there anything else that we want to touch on before we leave? I feel like we got a mouthful this episode, and the fact that we've been talking for almost 4 hours, y'all. Okay. I don't want to hear shit from nobody. You better fucking support this episode as much as you fucking can, y'all. I'm tired now.
Yeah, I went through a whole emotional breakdown, so you guys better
good, y'all. It's all
send
good.
this to your mom.
The mamas, the baby mamas.
All the people.
Send
just
it to all the people, y'all. And I think what's today's date?
Today's the 11th.
The 11th. Let's look at the calendar real quick.
Okay.
Because we gonna be on a break. Because it's gonna be... Whatever we gonna in a couple of weeks, we got like maybe like 2 more episodes before we go.
So the 17th and the 24th.
Yeah, we have episode 22 and episode 23, and then we go on a week break, and then we might be back because the twins' birthday is like right after that. So
June 4th.
No, Kalani's June 4th.
Oh, okay.
The twins are May 9th.
I remember June 4th. So I'm like, June 4th is somebody's birthday.
The 9th of May is their birthday, so like 10 days after mine. But this
wow, you guys are like back to back.
Yes,
it's you, then Kalani, then the twins.
No, me. The twins are 10 days apart, and then the Kalani is like a month after the twins. Yeah. It's ridiculous, but this was a great episode. I'm glad that we were able to still get it done. I'm glad that we were still able to hear from Prince. Here, y'all, go check out his album on the 15th. That's coming out this week. What date is the week of today?
Wait, hold on. I gotta go up here.
So I think that's Friday or something like that. Yeah, Friday. This Friday, on all platforms. Yes, Big Strip Pablo. He got a album out called a mixtape called Block Business coming out, and there's some heat on there. I should be if my phone wasn't dead. I give you a little sample.
She got 2 dead phones.
How? I almost choked on my spit.
2 dead phones she got.
But y'all, we up out of here.
Yeah.
We got shit to do. It has been a long day, y'all. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Zuleyma.
And we gone, y'all. Ooh, sorry.
Hey. I got drop. Swear I only fucked her once, but she fiending a lot. The return of Machiavelli, like I'm speaking the pot.
Is this a part of this mixtape? Okay.
The return of Machiavelli, like I'm speaking the pot.
Bye, y'all.